And welcome back to the final theme of this learning unit, in which we look at project management and organizational structures. This is chapter 13, which is page 442 to 454. After this section, you should be able to explain the types of project management, organizational structures, discuss the advantages of the different types of project management organizational structures, and also discuss the disadvantages of the different types of project management organizational structures. So when we talk about organizational structures, we typically use in business that primarily sells produce and standard products. So a functional organizational structure essentially talks to how the organization is, all of the resources are structured around delivering a specific objective. Work groups consist of individuals who perform the same function. So typically these would be all those in marketing that have similar functions, all of those in operations, all of those in finance, and those would be focused around. And this is an example of a functional organizational structure. Team members may be assigned to a project either fully or part-time, and project manager does not have complete authority over the project team. When we say complete authority, it simply means that they are responsible for managing the project, but they don't have the authority over the people within the project. Project manager regularly updates the other functional managers in the company on the status of the project. So this would be an example of a functional organizational structure in which you have the marketing team working together, the engineering team, the manufacturing team, and the procurement, and they all work they all have the same function, and they all work together in their own departments. And then you have autonomous project structure. Companies with this organizational structure are in the project business. This is what they do. They work on projects, and they tend to, like advertising agencies, construction businesses, everything that they do is a project. Company works on multiple projects at a time, usually with high value and long-term projects. And projects are completed, the company hopes to get new ones. Each project team is dedicated to a single project with a project lead working on it. Each project is operated like a mini company, so they have their own income statement, and each one is a profit center. There's little opportunity for members of different project teams to share knowledge and expertise. So this would be an example of a project organizational structure in which there are your executive level, but then after that you have a project A and a project B with a project manager working on it, and then they have their own project team, and everyone inside that project team is responsible to the project manager. In most organizations you have what we call a matrix organization, and these organizations have multiple projects in progress at any given time, and they're also a hybrid structure between a functional and autonomous project structure. Provides for fully utilized of company resources, employees assigned to the project for the length of time that they are needed. They can also pursue career development through assignment of these projects, and they also have a dual reporting relationship. The project manager is the intermediary between the project and the client. So this is an example of a matrix structure, which means that there is the functional structure running across, and those are that particular person's direct line of authority. However, they might be working across different teams, because what you need is a combination of cross-functional expertise in your team. And for that particular project, those people then work both on the team, but they also do their day-to-day work as part of their function. In most organizations that run projects, but also have a day-to-day workflow, this structure works for them. There are advantages and disadvantages of the different organizational structures. In a functional structure, there is no duplication, and you can focus on just working on that particular element, and that is your function, and you become good at it. The disadvantage is that there's the silo mentality. You only work in your own function, and you don't compete or you don't interact with those outside of your function. For the autonomous project, the control over the resources is there and also responsiveness to the needs of the client. But it's not very cost effective because everything is duplicated. So you have one project in which there's a whole lot of duplication with another project. And because each one works autonomously, there's very little sharing of knowledge amongst projects. The matrix structure is efficient utilization of resources. You can share resources. Also, it has the functional expertise available to all the projects. There's knowledge transfer, improved communication, and customer focus. The only disadvantage is that there's this dual reporting structure in which you have your own direct line manager, but also the project manager that is vying for your attention. And this is where the scheduling conflicts comes in, and you need to balance that power. So finally, looking at in a matrix organization, it's important to delineate the project management responsibilities and the functional management responsibilities. What happens in the project and what happens in your day-to-day workflow. When implementing a project, a matrix organizational structure operating guidelines should be established to assure proper balance of power, that there's no conflict between the project manager asking you to do something and your manager asking you to do something as well. Project teams should be kept as small as feasible throughout the project, and the project should be short as well. They should 6 months or a year. Brings us to the end of this theme in the final learning unit.